We are really revolutionizing the game over here at Slaz Up MMA, you know. Nina Drama daughter or Ayman Zahabi son.
The Chud Maxer himself, dude.
Hello?
Is Michelle Obama a man?
Even right now, I don't want to talk about this shit. Come back to this video after Paddy Pimblett wins dominantly against BSD. Come back to this video and then say the worst guy was right.
All right. Hi, brother. It's me, Slaz Up MMA. We're here to talk about maybe our best video of all time. Maybe.
Drama.
Shama. We were getting into the rankings before starting this recording. I'm sure we'll circle back, but you know it's been a while since we've done a video, and we've got some talking points to go over.
Yeah, definitely a lot has happened. UFC White House took place. New ranking system. Between then, we had another card with Starboy knocking out Kyoji the Gooch.
Dude, that was so sad to watch.
Actually, a pretty good card too. It was pretty fun.
I only saw the main event because I'm a casual. So
yeah, I watched all the way to prelims, kid.
Yeah, you love the Apex fights, don't you?
They're my favorite.
Best we can do is you versus Ayman Zahabi in the Apex, kid. Book it for November.
Yeah.
Okay, so I think we should just start with like, you know, the biggest event that happened recently.
I think we should start. Yeah, we should go straight to the main fucking fight.
The meat and potatoes, man.
Because Ilya Topuria got turned into the Homelander getting destroyed scene where he's just miserable and begging for life. He took a shite on the bus, a shite on the stool.
Oh my god. Was that like the best underdog upset we've seen in recent history?
Yeah. Because Sean Strickland had a chance to beat Hamza. He had a chance stylistically to beat Adesanya. Dude, Justin Gaethje realistically should have had no shot to beat. I literally said it in the gym.
Yeah.
I said, I don't see a way in hell that Justin Gaethje could beat Ilya Topuria. And he did it.
Somehow, dude. And it wasn't even like obviously it was a close fight, but like I hate to say it, Gaethje
was it though?
Gaethje dominated, dude.
Yeah. I don't think when you have a fighter that comes out of the ring unscathed with like not even a scratch on his face and the other one had to quit on the stool, it has 2 broken orbitals, I don't call that a close fight.
Well, I don't know if he was
he got whooped.
Unscathed. I mean, the way I was
look at Gaethje, dude. He had no scratches on his face.
Yeah, he probably had a tummy ache, you know, recovering after.
That's it.
But like, dude, when I was scoring the fight, it was like 3-1 in favor of Gaethje.
3-1, easy.
Before he quit.
Easily.
But the only real success Topuria had was in that second round. You know, he hits him with like the 6-punch, you know, abortion shots to the body. Gaethje, you know, crumbles, falls over, and then Topuria, you know, he's thinking like, man, Khabib did it, Oliveira did it, I could do it too, man. I could sub Gaethje. Tries to armbar him, and you know, Gaethje just somehow, you know, puts himself in a hyperbaric chamber, recovers, and comes back to fuck him up in the 3rd and 4th rounds.
Yeah, I think one of the things that I was proven right on Ilya Topuria's game in specific was I always kind of called him like one-dimensional in some ways, where everybody wanted to be like, okay, this guy can wrestle like Khabib and grapple and submit everyone like Oliveira, and he has this perfect striking that can knock everybody out. But in reality, I always kind of knew this guy, he's mainly a boxer. Like, that's just his thing. Like, I think his wrestling has been overrated. I think his grappling has been overrated because of the Oliveira performance.
Yeah.
Where, keep in mind, Oliveira threw himself under Topuria. If you look at the way,
bro.
Yeah, it was an extremely flimsy takedown attempt, and people like overestimate that. Like, oh, look, they act like, you know, he got, you know, Topuria down with a double leg. He like, you know, somehow reversed the position and got, like, that's not what happened at all.
But people forget, man.
If you look,
Topuria was able to capitalize on that, and he put Oliveira in a crucifix for a second, man.
Yo, come on. But he got right back out and then immediately started threatening submissions on Topuria. Yeah. And Topuria got up from that position and had to get away and back to the striking. I think Topuria's grappling has been massively overrated. And I also think his striking is a lot more simple meat and potatoes than people say. It's boxing. It's with the hands. He doesn't have any kicks. You'll never see him throwing a head kick. You'll never see him throwing a spinning kick anywhere. He has like a leg kick and simpleton's boxing, and that's it.
True, but I mean
Just
those
in case you figured out.
somehow before. I mean, I don't even want to call it fundamentals because like maybe his kicking is fundamental. You know, he's got that low kick, like you said, but his combinations are like really where he shines. You know, he's got those fundamentals down in boxing. You know, he can do those long combinations, which somehow was working before. I mean, obviously you saw, you know, he slimed Oliveira, slimed Holloway, slimed Volk, slimed 17 other people. I mean, a lot of them were submissions, but somehow like when he was like an unstoppable force, Topuria. But when he met Gaethje, you know, this immovable object who's able to just soak up all the damage and then not respect Topuria's damage and start firing back. And when Gaethje was able to land his hands and, you know, really start working his game, that's when it was over for Topuria, dude.
I think Taporia, the thing I'll give him is I think he's one of the smartest fighters in terms of game planning. And I think what hurt him in this fight was that he really the game plan was just thrown out the window, and he imagined that he could get him out of there in a round, and he had no like longevity in mind. So when it got to like the third round, he literally ran out of gas completely. Where usually he would pace himself. Like if you look in the Volk fight, he was a lot more defensively sound, trying to pick his shots and wait to back Volk up so he could unleash those combos. Where in this, he literally just put his hands up and try to march Justin Gaethje down, which is like the worst way to fight Justin Gaethje.
Yeah. Yeah, it's on Gaethje's terms. So,
Yeah.
I mean, we can, you know, pitter patter and talk about this fight all day. But honestly, what's more interesting is who's next for Justin Gaethje right now, because there's a couple names in the hat here that we could pick from and, you know, throw into a title fight main event, you know, early next year.
I think the only name that's right is Arman Sarukian. It has to be Arman Sarukian.
Dude,
Like there,
all right,
you
listen.
can't deny him anymore. You can't delay it. You can't deny him.
Armin
Arman
needs
Sarukian.
he needs his title shot, right? But he's not the only name in the hat here, man. People
I think he
forget
is.
Charles Oliveira, currently the BMF champion. He has a round one finish over Gaethje that, you know, was for the belt last time. We saw their last fight, you know, it was in my you know what, fuck it, not even in my opinion. And everyone watching, we know that Gaethje versus Oliveira one was the greatest one rounder of all time, dude. They were just popping off, you know. It was belt to ass that whole fight, right? And you know, Oliveira's on that 3-fight win streak. So does he deserve it more than Arman Sarukian? I don't know,
No,
man.
absolutely not.
What does Armin have
Absolutely
that
not.
Charles doesn't?
A win over Charles.
True. But man, people
A win
forget.
over Charles. And Dominus and he hasn't had it yet. He hasn't had his chance yet. Charles Oliveira, he literally 2 fights ago, Charles Oliveira was getting knocked out in a title fight.
Whoa, whoa,
He
whoa,
doesn't
whoa,
get
whoa, whoa,
it.
whoa, whoa, whoa.
Yeah.
That was 4 fights ago, buddy.
No, he fought Ilya Taporia, and then who did he fight after that? He fought.
Gamera. Oh, I guess it was 3 fights ago. Gamera Holloway.
So yeah, Gamrot Holloway. So 2 fights. 2 fights in between, just getting brutally KO'd in the first round.
Yeah.
Like, guys, I get angry when I hear people talk about this because I'm like, stop just running the same matches over and over again. This is like the Diego Lopez Volk all over again. Like, stop putting the same guy in the title shot. Give some young bloods a chance to make a name for themselves, because I really think Arman Sarukian has all the skills necessary to be a really dominant champion in the lightweight division.
But I
I
mean,
already picked him. I already thought that he could beat Ilya Taporia, and I know he could beat Justin Gaethje, and I just think he's earned his shot.
by that logic, all right. First off, hold on. I'm gonna address the end of that. I do agree. I pick Armin to beat Gaethje, but you know, by your logic, then there's no way Gaethje would have fought for the title, right? Because if you look at Gaethje's
He shouldn't
timeline,
have. He shouldn't have.
he got
He should have
knocked
never.
out by Holloway, right? Then he fought Rafael Fiziev, you know, on a comeback fight. Then he fights Paddy Pimblett, you know, wins the interim title. Which, by the way, he should that interim fight should have had Armin in it. It should have,
It should have been Armin Paddy.
yeah, Armin
That's my
Paddy or
pick.
even Armin Justin, right? Because
Yeah.
Paddy Pimblett kind of had this journeyman faked resume. Actually, though, how good is Paddy Pimblett? Because his only recent loss is to
He's good.
the current
He's
champion.
really good. He's really good.
I
Patty
mean,
Pimblett did better against Justin Gaethje than Ilya Taporia did.
that
That's not
is
even a
that
debate.
is true. So, obviously we're gonna pay close attention to his upcoming co-main event in a couple weeks, but
I think I would pick Patty to beat Ilya Taporia. The Taporia that fought Justin Gaethje, if he came out with the same stupid game plan, I think Patty could, really get a decision against him, like hurt fucking Ilya Taporia.
dude, I think Ilya Taporia sends a moon. people
I disagree.
people forget, man. So yeah, I think the only two names in this convo are Armin and Charles. Um, have you heard the talk? It's not like official and it's not really like a call out, but Volk said he would be open to a double champ fight. I mean, do we
Uh,
do we as fans really care for
I
this?
believe it. I mean, he always wanted it. He never got to do it against Islam Makhachev, and now the division's kind of opened up. I would say no if it was Ilya still champ, but now that we got a new champion, it kind of like there's so many possibilities and so many avenues we could go down. Because Justin Gaethje stylistically is a winnable fight for a lot of people in that division. I feel like
For Volk, that's a great fight, man.
I think it is. But I mean, do we really want to see old man Volk, you know, chub up again and go up another division and potentially get chinned by Justin Gaethje? I mean, there's fights in his division that he can have.
I
There's
agree.
Movsar Evloev, there's Gene Silva, there's there's avenues and I feel like we don't need everybody to be a champ. Not everybody needs to be.
Yeah, and I mean, I'm gonna pivot here. If we're talking about champs, there is someone at the top of my shit list right now, and that is Cyril Gain. Is Cyril gone safe in the favelas? You being
Nope.
a real hoodlum from Brazil,
Nah, he can't step foot in Brazil. I ain't gonna lie. I
bro.
already made some calls. He ain't stepping foot in Rio or São Paulo. He's not stepping foot.
So like a little bit of context for viewers watching this. Pereira, he's kind of beefing with the ref right now, specifically Herb Dean, because in the fight there was a sequence where Cyril Gahn hit, what was it, like six illegal back of the head, like shots, elbows, little pitter patter, same exact Joes, whatever. I mean, and all, like, to be honest though, like that does suck. Cyril Gahn's a dirty fighter. He's proven himself a dirty fighter. He eye pokes, he does back of the head shots, he does low blows. But isolating that and kind of putting this fight in a vacuum, other than the illegal shots, Pereira was getting pieced up on the feet by Cyril Gahn. Do you disagree?
Uh I do disagree. I don't think he was getting pieced up. He got caught with one. Like if we circle up, so it ended in round two. In round one,
Yeah.
what was happening? They were kicking. Alex Pereira was kicking at range. He was kicking high. He was having trouble kicking low. Which was always something that we expected because of how bouncy Cyril Gain is and his stance. It was always going to be hard with the low kicks. But I thought, it was close in the striking. I had a slight edge to Cyril Gahn. He just landed some of the cleaner shots with the jabs and stuff like that. But towards the end of round one, actually, Alex kind of caught him in a combo real quick and like backed up Cyril Gahn. If you watch that again in round one, it was like the very final seconds. I don't think it did enough to steal the round, but I think it was close in round one. And then in the second round, he just, he got caught and what happened. So I don't think he was getting pieced up. You can't say he was getting pieced up. I think it was a very 50-50 exchange.
Yeah.
You could give a slight edge to Cyril Gahn, but at most you could give a slight edge.
When I was watching the fight, I do agree with your points. I think round one, when he was very competitive, like could have gone either way. Round two is where it kind of came in though. Like even before the finishing sequence, when Cyril Gahn pops that jab and drops Pereira, he was doing some kind of like outside, like almost big, like looping shots. Almost like he's throwing like he's never played like a UFC video game before, and he's just spamming like double overhands. He was kind of tagging Pereira from range. I don't know if you noticed that, but
Yeah.
that finishing sequence is really what changes the fight, and I think this is where like Pereira's kind of disdain comes in because he gets dropped by the jab, right? Dropped by that straight, and then he goes for a leg, because obviously you're still in the fight, you got to wrestle up, but then that's when the back of the headshots come into play, which obviously are gonna mess up his equilibrium. And then Pereira still, fights through the back of the headshots like a savage, stands up, gets on the feet. But by this point, he's so rocked by all the damage he's taken that Ciryl Gane, does the remaining combination to end the fight.
Yeah, I think. I mean, it's an interesting conversation for sure. With the back of the headshots. I don't know if you saw the video Herb Dean posted after Alex's complaints, explaining the rule set and how the back of the headshots work. So actually, it's not so much the back of the head as it is kind of like the upper like neck area, which you're not allowed to hit. Um, Square on in the back of the head is actually technically a legal blow, as explained by the rule set. So actually, a lot of the times where people are calling back of the head shots, it's really a legal blow.
Yeah.
There's just a specific area of the head that you're not allowed to hit, which Ciryl Gane did hit, but it's always going to be a really rough call in those moments, especially when it's like a finishing sequence and a big card, and there's like a big moment where the fighter gets dropped. It's always going to be a hard call. So I kind of get it from Herb Dean's perspective too.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, like, when the action's going and the guys are tussling, if you see, like, a few illegal blows, like, let's say, for instance, Ciryl Gane did, like, 4 out of 10 blows. Like, so 40% of those strikes in that sequence were illegal. Like, are you going to really separate the guys when they're scrambling and the action's going down just because you saw a few illegal shots? I think the fans would have been more upset if Herb Dean had, like, separated them there than what he did. So I could
I
see.
disagree. I think the fans wouldn't be more upset because everybody was cheering for Alex Pereira. Like,
Well, I mean, except for like all the French dudes. Yeah.
I don't think I don't think anybody, not even the French dudes.
People love Pereira though. Like he's universally like
Yeah,
one of the most loved. I mean, people love Brazilians in the UFC, like Du Bronx,
yeah,
Pereira. But honestly, like after seeing how Ciryl Gane, because he's crafty, dude. Like people don't give him his
he good.
credit, but Ciryl Gane is crafty. Even though like he does a few illegal shots, like if you ain't cheating, you ain't trying. So like he's able to sneak in those shots there, and it won him the fight against Pereira. So honestly, dude, I'm gonna go out on a limb here, and I'm gonna say that Ciryl Gane beats Tom Aspinall in a rematch.
Yeah, I think I'm still leaning a little bit towards Aspinall just because I feel like he has more tools in the fight than Cyril Gane to win, such as like the takedown, wrestling, grappling. There's more avenues he can explore, and I think he will do earlier. Uh, in the second fight, knowing what happened in the first.
Yeah.
Um, but I wouldn't be entirely surprised if Cyril Gane managed to win. I think he's really good, and I think part of the constant fouls, and yeah, he's a dirty fighter. I don't even think he's doing it fully intentionally. I think he's just he's a sloppy guy.
Yeah.
He knocks people down and he wants to get the finish immediately because it's heavyweight, dude. Being a big guy and moving around for 5 rounds is difficult. So when he smells blood in the water, he just wants to get him out of there. And if your technique is a little sloppy, that could happen. Yeah.
So, I mean, Peter Yan. Where is Peter Yan, dude? Is he still coming
Well,
off
that came
back
out of
surgery?
nowhere.
He's coming off a back surgery, right?
Uh, I don't know. Yeah, maybe.
I mean, the reason I raised this, and like you said, it did kind of come out of nowhere. I'm pivoting now.
Yeah. I'm like, where did Peter Young come from? He didn't
Oh,
fight.
just kind of moving down the card. We're gonna talk about Sean O'Malley right now, but with Peter Yan, the reason I ask where he is because we've got 2 banger championship fights right now, right? We've got Yan versus Merab 3, which I think is the fight to make. But we've also got, Yan versus O'Malley 2 for the title. So genuinely, where is Peter Yan? Because you've got two, hungry, bloodthirsty people in your division.
Yeah, I don't know where he is. But I also don't know. I think there's a possibility that Sean O'Malley could overtake Marab, because we've seen Marab get his nose, broken badly.
Yeah, like
I don't
twice now.
know. Yeah, I don't know if he's gonna be ready for the time frame that Piotr Yan wants to fight. If he is, obviously, I think Marab is more deserving than Sean O'Malley for the work that he's put in, and the defenses and stuff like that. Um, but I think also O'Malley makes a fun fight. He has a win over Piotr Yan, and yeah, after Marab, Sean O'Malley's definitely next up.
Would it be weird to see a fighter get a title shot off an Amin Zahabi win?
Yeah. But I mean, Justin Gaethje got one after a Rafael Fiziev. So,
No, that was after. Well, I mean, I guess for the interim, yeah, you do make a
well,
point.
I'm saying the interim belt. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's a that's a belt I count it.
you do make a point. Can we just say like a quick rest in peace to Amin Zahabi? Your low kicks were legendary. Is Philly shell plus low kicks the new craftiest meta in the UFC?
Yeah. I'm gonna go ahead and say, Amin Zahabi, you will not be missed. To
Whoa,
hell you go.
speak for yourself, bro. Okay, over here at Slazup MMA, we will miss Amin Zahabi.
In the bin you go, Amin Zahabi. Goodbye. Good riddance.
Dude, what is with his low kicks? Because if I didn't know any better, bro, the way Joe Rogan was commentating, you think he has like a like a peg leg sledgehammer down there, and he's just cutting
Yeah.
dudes' limbs off.
You know what's funny about the low kicks is it always gets mentioned as like this game changer thing, but nowadays I don't really feel like I see, except for like Carlos Prates against JDM. I
Yeah,
rarely
that was
see
bad.
low kicks having. Yeah, I rarely see low kicks actually having any effect at all. Like
Yeah,
it just
because
seems like people get low kicks and just keep going, and it just doesn't do anything.
like you said, like I mean, Carlos Prates is the only person who like really brutalizes people with the low kicks. Like you could even see in the Sean O'Malley fight, like of course Amin Zahabi was spamming that Philly shell low kick, but like dude, Sean O'Malley was not taking damage. Like he would get leg kicked, and there was a time in the fight I think he either took a leg kick or like checked it, and he's just like smiling at Amin Zahabi like that's all you got, bitch.
Look, I'll tell you this: I did Muay Thai for many, many years. Never did I go into a fight thinking, "Oh no, the low kicks." That's never what I was concerned about. So, like, for
Yeah.
people to make that the whole thing is like, yeah, that's kind of crazy to me.
Yeah, so I mean, obviously it sucks to see Amin Zahabi lose. You're a
Nope,
casual if you don't like Amin Zahabi.
disagreed.
But honestly, like I fuck with Sean O'Malley a lot more. I think he's a lot more interesting for bantamweight. I think his style's a lot better. I think he's a better title contender, and I mean obviously he's a former champion, so I think it's very healthy for Sean O'Malley, very healthy for the division for Sean O'Malley to get this win.
Don't be surprised if we see Sean O'Malley one day on this last up MMA.
Dude, I honestly wouldn't be surprised. I'll pull some strings behind the scenes and see if I can work my
Yeah,
magic. But if we want to pivot
I'll
again,
even do a I'll do a sparring video with Sean O'Malley.
yeah, I think he'd fuck you up,
I disagree.
bro. We'll save this for the future. But let's pivot a little bit. The only other fight on this card I really give a fuck about and want to talk about. Obviously, there were some great performances. Not to diminish any of the fighters. Diego Lopez was a thug. Bo Nichols a thug. Rufy was a thug. Well, the only other fight I want to talk about on this card was the Josh Hokett, Josh my balls hurt Hokett versus Derek Lewis fight. Um,
Oh yeah, let's just pass by Diego Lopez and Mauricio Hufi
we get it,
to
bro.
talk about Josh Hokett and Derek Lewis. What are we talking about?
Bro,
That's the fight that you want to single out?
we don't.
Josh Hokett versus a withered, fat, pre-diabetic Derek Lewis.
Bro, versus what? We talk about Mauricio Rufy versus, withered Michael
Yes,
Chandler, bro. Like we
yes,
knew
because
how that we
Mauricio
knew how that
Hufi
fight was
is
gonna
next
go.
up.
Bro,
Mauricio Hufi is
he's
next up.
I would argue that Killin Salkild is higher in title contention than Rufy.
No, definitely
Wait,
not.
honestly, that could be a banger fight to make Salkild versus Rufy.
Yeah, but he's definitely not.
I don't think they'd make that. So talking about Josh Hokett, is Michelle Obama a man?
I'll plead the fifth on that one.
We've seen some evidence before. Have you ever seen like the Alex Jones rant on that?
No.
I'm gonna have to radicalize you. I'll send you a few reels, but we can leave this where this is. I'll plead the fifth on
You
this.
know, just for everybody watching, I have no political bias at all, and I do not support anything that's been said, and I do not contribute to any of lines of rhetoric like this.
You'd think you're running for president, bro. What's this PR team?
Mm,
All right.
I no comment.
Let's ditch the White House. Let's leave the White House in the rearview mirror because coming up in a few weeks, the Mac is back, baby. Let's talk about
Yes,
McGregor,
sir.
dude.
I'm hyped. Dude, it's a different type of hype when McGregor's back. You know, the White House card got announced, and I think majority of the people that were calling it a weak card, which it ended up being probably one of the greatest nights in fighting history,
Yeah.
probably the greatest night in fighting history. But a lot of people before the card were calling the card weak and you know lacking star power. The reason for that is because everybody wanted McGregor to be there. The
True.
reason why we felt disappointed in UFC 300 was because we thought McGregor was going to be there. No matter who the UFC puts, we just wanted McGregor to be there because McGregor is a different type of vibe. He's hype. He brings the eyeballs.
Yeah, but I mean, looking at like, in hindsight, looking at the White House and 300 from like a business perspective, they're not gonna throw McGregor on that card. They're gonna save him for his own thing because
Oh no,
the White
they would
House,
never.
the White House will sell, right? UFC 300 will sell. They have its own gimmick. They're gonna save
Hmm.
McGregor for his own thing because then they can have two big paydays. You know, they can have the White House and then they can have the Conor McGregor card right after the White House.
I wouldn't put it past the McGregor card being bigger than the White House card in terms of viewership.
Oh,
That's how big Conor McGregor's comeback is.
actually, talking about this, you're one of the people who put me on. Wasn't it that the Jake Paul MVP card out promoted
Hmm.
the White House card? Do you want to talk about this for a minute?
Yeah. In terms of viewership, it was reported. Now, the numbers are very, they're all over the place in what's being reported. But some of the figures that were being reported early on in the White House card was that it had lower viewership than the Ronda Rousey MVP MMA card on Netflix. And actually, there's a few reasons why that may have happened. Netflix has a lot more subscribers than Paramount. Um,
But maybe
and
maybe Jake
yeah,
Paul's the
so it's
greatest
more
promoter.
accessible. But I think Jake Paul is one of the greatest promoters out right now in fighting. I mean, if you look at he put together the Mike Tyson fight, which is the most viewed combat sports event ever. Then he put the MVP MMA card. He had the Anthony Joshua fight, which was huge as well. You know, dude, he in terms of promoters, he might solo Dana White, dude.
Yeah, I think Jake Paul maybe has some family connections because if you think about it, if you talked about this with someone 10 years ago, they'd be like, "What the fuck are you talking about? Jake Paul, the Team 10
Mm,
guy?" Like for
yeah.
him in 10 years to go from, being he was like the biggest YouTuber in 2016,
Yeah,
which to be fair,
absolutely.
Team
Yeah.
10 did mop YouTube, but to go from like a big YouTuber to like to be in the talks of like one of the greatest promoters of the time right now in 10 years.
In
Gen
fight promotion, that's insane.
Yeah, like maybe I need to marry his sister or something because what are these family connections, bro? They could set you up for
Dude,
life.
you know what I think it is? I think in terms of the money, the Paramount deal was smart for the UFC to do. But if you wanted for the sport growth, if you wanted to have the biggest sport of all time, like if you wanted to surpass the NFL, if you want to surpass the NBA, the Netflix deal would have got the UFC a lot closer to that, in my opinion.
Yeah, 100%, especially with like how big their viewership platform is, like you were talking earlier about the difference in subscriber
Mm.
count for sure, dude. Netflix
Yeah.
is the biggest platform.
Who doesn't have Netflix? I think everybody has Netflix. Like
Yeah.
everybody and their dog has a Netflix account. So the UFC being on Netflix would have just took it like an extra step, and it would have definitely cut into Streamy's pockets.
Even still, bro, like with Paramount, it still is.
Yeah.
Which is why I don't know if I necessarily believe the figures that the
Well,
White House card.
later on, the figures came out and they were saying 17 million in the White House card, which would have made it bigger than
Well,
the MVP
they were
MMA
both
card.
tied, right? I'm pretty sure they both had like 17.
Yeah, yeah.
But I don't know. Personally, I didn't watch it through my Paramount. I was at Buffalo Wild Wings, and there was at least like like anywhere from like 100 to 200 people watching that fight.
Well, that's never gonna count, is there? Like you can never count
Yeah,
outside like
true. I mean,
sources.
same
So
thing. Like there could have been that many people for the Netflix card.
I'm gonna say this: the White House card was definitely a bigger card in terms of like global significance. Like, wow, Ronda Rousey won against Gina Carano. Who gives a damn? Like
Yeah.
nobody cares.
And in terms of like legacy, bro, people are gonna look in like 300 years, and like you said, like Ronda Rousey fought who
Yeah,
versus like,
yeah, nobody
bro,
cares.
you're telling me Gaethje pulled off like a 4-1 upset at the White House against the fucking literally the boogeyman of the Ilia Topuria was the boogeyman, and
Yeah,
still
and the
is, dude.
setting, everything that went. No, no, he's not.
He could come
All the
back.
setting.
Yeah,
Yeah, but he's not the boogeyman.
not
You
anymore.
can't lose
He got his aura
to
taken.
you can't lose to Weather Gaethje and be the boogeyman everybody's scared of. Like, dude, everybody. I think this is gonna take a toll on Ilya Taporia. Like, going forward, he's not gonna be able to sun nobody anymore. Everybody's gonna be like, "Oh yeah,
Yeah.
you
Oh,
lost to a Weather Gaethje,
so
bro. You're not gonna talk to me like that."
you're a wrestler now.
Yeah, nah. He's gonna be talked to like, yeah, okay, little boy.
Okay. So we'll leave that here. We've got some bigger events coming up, you know, some real meat and potatoes. We already started talking about McGregor versus Holloway too, but a very valid point I want to bring up in this main event is the UFC 6, or not even the UFC 6, the UFC video game cover curse, dude. If you look, if you look in history, every person who has been featured on the UFC cover has lost, right? And recently we saw with UFC 6 has two covers, right? The standard edition, Alex Pereira was on the cover, just lost to Cyril Gahn, right? Guess who's on the deluxe version? Max Holloway. Do we think Max Holloway has the UFC cover curse?
I think he's gonna lose to McGregor.
You think
I think
so?
his frame is gonna. I think his frame is gonna be too small for welterweight, and McGregor's gonna just mog him. Just he. I think maybe it's my hopium. It's my hopium. It's definitely my hopium.
Hopium, yeah.
But I definitely, dude. I'm gonna make a prediction right now, dude. We're getting vintage McGregor, like a crazy turn back the clock styling on Holloway and dropping him with every shot, McGregor.
Yeah, I've heard some promising stuff too. Have you heard that McGregor's like sleeping in the gym again to prepare for this fight?
Mm-hmm.
Like,
Yeah.
dude, and honestly, when we talk about this being the year of the underdogs, right? Like, when you look at the odds, like Strickland versus Chimaev, Gaethje versus Topuria, and now McGregor versus Holloway. McGregor is the smallest underdog of the three underdogs that I just listed. Like it wouldn't even be like looking at the odds right now. He's only plus 205. That's not that crazy to face Holloway. Like that's a very close fight.
Look, I remember watching McGregor versus Eddie Alvarez in his double champ fight live. Still to this day, the greatest performance ever by a UFC fighter ever. He was ducking, he was untouchable, dropping Eddie Alvarez with every shot. How sick would it be if McGregor did the same thing to Max Holloway in his comeback fight?
Yeah.
One of those type of performances, which I believe he's still capable of.
Yeah, I don't doubt him. I mean, he took some time off, which for a fighter, he might have some cage rust, but once he gets in there, dude, it's Conor McGregor. Like he's gonna get his flow state. He's gonna start landing, and it's really anyone's game in that octagon. But
Yeah, and with the bigger frame and 170, I feel like,
yeah,
dude, those shots could really hurt Max.
like he said in the interview, it's a different world out here, Max. He's gonna at 170, dude. Max is gonna punch McGregor in the face, and he's literally gonna laugh at
It will
him.
do nothing. It will do nothing.
Like if I don't want to call Holloway like like a weak puncher, because obviously he's not. Like, looking at boxing in the UFC, Holloway's one of the best, dude. I think he has the best long combinations in the UFC, and that's where
Are you saying Holloway's got pillow hands?
I
Pillow
don't want to
hand
say it, dude, but going up 2 weight classes, bro, to 170, like,
Yeah.
is he gonna have pillow hands against McGregor? That's a real question, because
Well, also, we've seen his chin not look that unstoppable in lightweight either. If we think about, it didn't count as a knockdown in the Justin Gaethje fight, but he did get dropped.
yeah, and even
And
Oliveira.
he got rocked. He got rocked by Dustin Poirier. Oliveira rocked him. You move up another weight class on top of that.
Yeah, and McGregor has
We might be
power.
seeing a withered Holloway.
McGregor has power at welterweight, dude. Look at what he did to Cowboy Cerrone at
Hmm.
welterweight.
Oh yeah,
Like,
he's got pop.
honestly, now that we're discussing it, I wouldn't even hate throwing $100 on Conor and netting home like 300, dude. That doesn't even sound that bad.
I might throw 10 G's on Conor.
Yeah, dude. I don't know if you want to talk about this on the podcast, but you almost were up big on the White House card.
Yeah, I put $5 grand on Justin Gaethje. I put it by decision though, which would have pocketed me $85,000, and I was one round away.
Bro,
One round away from cashing that in.
This is how like favorable, like how much we were favoring Ilya Topuria going into this fight, because when you sent like the screenshot that you had bet $5 on Gaethje by decision, I was like, you're literally just pissing away $5, and then like the first round passed and we got into the second and the third round. I'm like, what if this guy actually nets home like 90 grand tonight? And then he quit on the stool, but I was like, fuck, man, that's not even the
Dude,
like,
that's why I will hate Ilya Topuria for the rest of my life. Like the one time you could show that you're the big tough guy, you quit on the stool and lose me 80 grand. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, at least get brutalized to a decision, dude.
Dude, I was like, the minimum you could do for what you did to Charles Oliveira was die in the cage. The minimum that you could pay with your life. Yeah. I was literally yelling. I was watching with a friend, and I was yelling, kill him, Justin Gaethje.
And my life is yours.
I was like, because I would have sold my soul to Justin Gaethje if he executed Ilya Topuria in the cage. Wow. For what you did to my boy Charles Oliveira, you deserve to pay.
Ilya deserves death. Well, okay. That sounds bad out of context, but for what he did to Charles, okay. I'm talking MMA death.
You shall be punished.
Yeah, but all right. Coming back to UFC 329, there's actually like some pretty good feature fights on this card. Just looking at it, BSD versus Paddy Pimblett's really good. Corey Sandhagen versus Mario Bautista is crafty.
Great fight.
Now another great fight, Brandon Royval versus Loner Kavanagh, which
great fight.
I love this. Somehow, some way, Gable Steveson used a loophole to get on a Conor McGregor card. If you don't believe me, just look up Gable Steveson loophole college. It is crazy, man. He has a crazy loophole to get on these really big cards. For his UFC debut, by the way.
Yeah. I'm actually excited to see how he looks. I don't think he's not the guy who I think is going to be the dominant champion. I think that, I think that Josh Hoke could probably brutalize Gable Steveson, but it's also early in Gable's career. He's only had like a handful of MMA fights.
Yeah.
So
I've only seen one, the one where he knocks a dude out and shoots a double on him.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how his career plays out. I don't necessarily like the guy because of all the things, all the things. And his John Jones Association and things like that. I don't necessarily like the guy, but it's going to be definitely cool to see, what this guy who's like one of the greatest wrestlers ever, can do.
All right, I just want to dedicate like a quick 5 minutes to the only other two fights on this card I care about. The first one being the co-main BSD versus Paddy Pimblett. This is honestly like a great fight. I like both these guys as contenders at lightweight, BSD, Paddy Pimblett. Personally, dude, I think Paddy Pimblett's skills have been overhyped. And with the run he's been on recently, I think BSD gets this done.
I think you're going to be very surprised.
You think Paddy Pimblett wins this fight, dude?
I think you're going to be very surprised. I think Paddy Pimblett's going to win this fight.
I mean, honestly, I came up with this opinion before the White House fight that BSD wins, but You know, in retrospect, the loss to Justin Gaethje, we were talking about this earlier, does not look that bad.
It aged well. It aged well. That's a well-aged loss.
Yeah.
And especially given like how he won like round 4, I believe, in the Justin Gaethje fight. He was still like swinging. He never gave up on himself. It was always like he was always kind of in it. And like let's remember, he was getting eye poked in that fight. He got eye poked more than once in that Justin Gaethje fight. The first knockdown that Justin Gaethje landed was off an eye poke. He eye poked him into a hook. Like
Yeah.
that was not a clean performance by Justin Gaethje, and Patty never gave up. He stayed in there and he kept the rounds close. So I think
He
Patty's
had
a lot better
more
than he gets
grit
credit
than
for.
Topuria, man.
A lot more.
Does Paddy
And
Pimblett
I
wake
think
up?
he's better. He has a lot more skill, and he's a lot better of a fighter than people give him credit for.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I will give Paddy Pimblett this. He does definitely wake up in the morning to a big bowl of grits and just bites down on that mouthpiece in the cage, man.
Come back to this video after Patty Pimblett wins dominantly against BSD.
I don't think dominantly, dude. If there's a fighter winning this fight dominantly, I think it's Benoit Saint Denis, dude.
Come back to this video and then say the worst guy was right.
Nah. All right, we'll leave this here because there's a craftier fight on this card, and that's the rematch with Corey Sandhagen and Mario Bautista.
I got Mario Bautista.
Honestly, I don't hate that. If I was the odds maker for this fight,
I think it's close. It's very close, but
yeah, I would almost throw it like a pick'em. The odds, Sandhagen's the favorite right now. It's -150 for Sandhagen, so not even
that doesn't surprise me.
not even that crazy. But Mario Bautista's crafty, dude. I mean, so is Sandhagen too. But talking about Mario Bautista, we just saw his last fight. You know, his ground game looks super slick against Oliveira. You know, that bantam now featherweight guy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Vinicius Oliveira also fought last weekend.
He just won via back
yeah.
of the head strike, man. Herb Dean, people forget.
Oh, come on.
Yeah, I mean,
not everything's a back of the head strike.
Yeah, I think it's just kind of a hot topic right now after Pereira lost.
I think it's a copium.
It could be. I think it's copium a little bit for Pereira losing. I'm not gonna NGL.
Yeah.
All right, we don't have to scrape the barrel for this card. Let's talk about some more hot topic stuff. The first one being Islam Makhachev versus Ian Gary. This is like a huge fight. Basically the 2B McGregor versus Khabib.
Yeah, I think so. The only difference that it's really not is that they're like pretty respectful towards each other, like for the most part.
Somewhat.
You know, Ian's been talking every now and then, but it's like it doesn't have the same, it doesn't have the same effect. It's not true hatred.
Yeah,
I don't believe for a second these guys are like, working day in, day out, just like, oh, I hate this guy. Like it was McGregor and Khabib.
Yeah.
That just changes it a little bit for me.
And that fight got propelled like due to their out of the cage beef. Like there was obviously the issue with Artem getting slapped by Khabib's team. But I think the way like Makhachev versus Gary is gonna play out is like obviously like as the fight gets closer and closer, Ian Gary has a mouth, dude. Ian Gary loves to talk shit. Like the way he was doing with Hamzat, bro. He's picking fights to Hamzat backstage. Like as this fight gets closer, Ian Gary's gonna talk shit, and Makhachev like stands on business, dude. Like when Dustin Poirier called him a motherfucker, like Islam stood on business right there, and that's when it gets heated a little bit. I think that's how it'll go, but like you said, it's not true hatred, dude.
Yeah.
But stylistically,
and I'm gonna pick Islam Makhachev to get it done.
Yeah, because I mean, stylistically, is Ian Gary proddy enough to pull off another upset this year?
Yeah, he could.
The odds makers don't seem to agree. Looking at the odds right now, Islam is a
Dude,
minus.
Stop reading the odds. Stop reading the odds.
Bro,
stop it right
odds
now.
are a big thing. Okay?
Stop reading the odds.
Listen, we have.
They're not a big thing. They're not a big thing.
We have degenerates who watch this channel, okay? And they have Islam
Dude,
as a
the odds are
minus
mean.
360 favorite.
The odds mean absolutely nothing. We've learned that in the Sean Strickland fights, both Adesanya and Hamzat Chimaev. We learned that in the Justin Gaethje Topuria. We learned, dude.
Just because an underdog wins doesn't mean the odds are useless.
Yes, it does. When the odds are like 4-1, 7-1, and then it means absolutely nothing.
Oh, it means
nothing.
something when I get some bread in my pocket, FN. I don't bet.
Yeah.
I don't bet
All
on
right,
fights.
buddy.
I don't bet on fights. So.
Okay, buddy. Putting $20 to win to win 100 is not, putting skin in the game.
Yeah, I'm larping right now. I don't have
Yeah.
$5 just lying around I could throw on Ian Gary underdog upset.
Just
um,
do better, dude. Just do better, because I do, and I will be putting money
yeah,
on the underdogs from now on.
dude, can we talk about how we haven't had a single women's title fight this year?
No, let's not talk about that. Let's just
Dude,
gloss right over that.
finally,
Nope.
Mackenzie Dern is
Nope.
back.
Well, I'll take Mackenzie Dern.
All right,
I'll
bro.
take a Mackenzie Dern over Damon Zahabi main eventing ever again.
I fuck with Mackenzie Dern. She's a thug, and I like
Dude,
watching her fight.
she comes to fight, dude.
She
She comes to
does.
fight.
But I'm not gonna lie.
He
I know
swings.
I know nothing about Jillian Robertson. I haven't watched. Who has she fought recently?
I have no idea.
She's number
I didn't even know
5.
she was in the UFC.
She fought Adriana Lima. It was in the Apex card, right? Adriana Lima was her last fight.
Whoa!
But
No.
dude, I don't give a fuck
He
about
did it.
Jillian Robertson. Honestly, I was hoping they were gonna have Zhang Wei Li fight for the belt, but it's nice to give some new fresh blood to the division. But the only reason I'm gonna be watching for this fight is Mackenzie Dern. So give me Mackenzie Dern
Yeah.
to win this fight, probably
That's my wife right
by
there.
decision.
Dude, play the clip of Khabib going. Even right now, I don't want to talk about this shit. The women's.
Yeah. All right. Fuck this fight. There's only like one more pivoting right now. There's only one more good event coming up. In terms of fight nights, there's a fight night coming up. Ankalaev versus. No way, dude. We're joined by our third co-host this evening.
The Chud Maxer himself, dude.
Hello?
Oh,
Yo.
we are live, dude. You just missed it. We were talking about Mackenzie Dern.
I was pledging
Finally.
allegiance to Che Guevara.
Finally, bro, finally. Well, actually, now that we have some people here, we can pivot and talk about a banger fight night event. They just announced some black-on-black violence in Oklahoma City. Dricus du Plessis is fighting Kamaru Usman at middleweight. What the fuck do we think about this fight?
Good fight. But I got DDP by falling piano.
It feels so good. It feels so good to say that, man. DDP hasn't fought in a minute, dude.
I want DDP to go on a title run again. I need that DDP title run.
Especially with Strickland being champ now, dude. Like,
It's a very exciting fight. I think it's pretty cool how it's it's a fight night main event headlined by two of the biggest non-champion names in all of the UFC, and especially at 185. Both former champions, both have some legacy. I think it's a pretty big fight, especially if Usman wins. He's probably fighting for the belt right away.
yeah.
Um,
Especially with
if
that Ali
DDP
privilege.
wins, he's right in that conversation too. So I'm definitely looking forward to it. I would lean DDP for sure.
The cobblestone knees, dude. That's why everyone leaned DDP.
Dude,
Honestly,
yeah, DDP.
I like this matchup for Usman though because we're gonna do some MMA math here, okay? So Hamza Chimaev smushed Dricus for 5 rounds. Made him his prison wallet. Made him his for 5 rounds. And Kamaru Usman is a really crafty, underrated grappler. He can do that to Dricus, right? Look at his fight against Joaquin Buckley, dude. He did pretty much the same shit to Buckley, where he just holds him down and just wet blankets. I'm gonna sit on top of you and mount. I'm gonna rain down some on top of you.
Buckley doesn't have plot armor though.
Kamaru Usman doesn't have plot armor. You don't think?
No, I'm saying Buckley doesn't have plot armor.
Oh, like Dricus
DDP
does.
has it.
Yeah, Dricus
Yeah.
does have plot armor.
Dricus is also a lot more powerful than Joaquin Buckley, and I think he's.
Yeah,
I
way
know
more.
he got squished, but I'd also argue that Dricus is a better wrestler or defensive wrestler than Joaquin Buckley is.
But
Because if we're gonna continue to do MMA math, we also saw what Hamzat was able to do to Usman, particularly in that first round.
yeah,
Um,
but that was a close
So-
fight, man. Like, a lot of people were saying it could have gone either way, and that was at middleweight too, which is why I like to see this bout go at middleweight. Maybe Usman will. This is only his second time at middleweight, so maybe he'll be a little more comfortable. Maybe he can eat some of that thud from Dricus.
What I'm saying is I know we're not doing MMA math and listening to odds makers in the Big 26. God. like, like that's over. Like
We
that's
are
been over
we are
for.
really revolutionizing the game over here at Slaz Up MMA. You know, Eamon's a hobby, odds makers, and MMA math. That's what we bring to the table.
I'm doing the real predictions here, man. I'm saying the cobblestone knees will give out and DDP will win that way.
How do we think this fight goes?
I would say probably decision for DDP. That's how I
Yeah,
see it.
I'm leaning decision too. I think DDP is just gonna pretty much just poke around at range. A lot of those jumping side kicks to the knee. I think Usman's jab will be a big weapon in this fight, but I can honestly see it ended up. I can honestly see it being a bit of a pitter patter at range kind of fight, and the wrestling sort of just neutralizes. It'd be interesting to see the wrestling offense from Usman, and how that plays out in the fight. Um, if anybody's getting the finish, though, I think DDP is chinning Usman.
I want to talk about a little bit, like, dude, I don't know how he pulls it off every time. Like, Ali is a really good manager. Like, ignore the fighters that he works with. You know, maybe you love him, maybe you hate him, but he does them right. Like with the fights he gets. Somehow, you know, number 9 welterweight Kamaru Usman, who's not even in title contention in his own division, is able to go up in a division and fight basically the number 1 contenders fight that if he wins, like you said, will get him a title shot at the upwards division. Like, how is his manager able to pull this off for him?
All I know is I've been emailing him nonstop. I'm like, Ali, please become my manager because this guy gets things done, man. He might be the goat of managers as far as MMA goes. Like the way he makes things happen.
He really does. And think about all the champions he's been with.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, he was able to hold out to get Justin Gaethje his interim title shot against Paddy
Mhm.
Pimblett, which
Yeah.
obviously we saw how that ended up working out. Um,
Yeah.
Think
you
about it. Gaethje
know,
was going to retire too before that fight. Look at him now.
I felt like it
exactly.
was kind of bluff. He was kind of bluffing.
He got Umar his title shot against Marab that first time after, he got him the Corey Sandhagen booking after not having really beaten anybody in that top 15, top 10 at bantamweight. He's, certainly um, pulling a lot of strings behind the scenes with Dana and with the UFC. Super powerful guy, good manager. Um,
Yeah,
definitely hacks his fighters' Twitters and gets them beefs with people when they don't realize, but I think it works out for the best.
yeah, and
Yeah.
he was pulled off of a plane going from Cairo, Egypt to New York City with 5 fake passports in his possession.
I have no opinions or comments on that.
Yeah.
How's Noah?
You shut your mouth.
Let me take my picture. Let me take my picture here.
You missed it, man. We were just talking about the Mac too.
The Mac is back, dude.
The Mac is back. Who
Yep.
do you think Holloway is gonna have the UFC cover curse? Is he gonna lose to Mac this year?
Man, it's certainly possible. I think it would be wrong of us to underestimate the cover curse.
Look at
Man,
what it just did to Pereira, man.
exactly. Pereira just got chinned by Gon. I
By a
mean,
jab.
Yeah.
by a jab too. Dude, if McGregor beats Holloway, dude, the scenes are gonna be unreal.
You know what my prediction was? My prediction was that he was going to have a Eddie Alvarez esque performance, and he was going to style on Max Holloway.
I think the most
Dude,
the most underrated aspect
Turn
of
the
this
clock back.
fight is it being at welterweight, bro. Like this changes the game so much.
It
for
does.
sure. I mean, I can totally imagine a scenario where, and I'm sure you guys talked about this, but I can imagine a scenario where Holloway comes into the fight like he fought Poirier that first time at 55, where he's, slightly pudgy, not really filled out to the weight, and it's just gonna be, a little bit slow, a little bit heavy for, in comparison to himself at 55 or 45 for that matter. And Connor's fought at 170 before, and he's a bigger guy now. I mean, he's certainly going to be the bigger guy in the cage. And yeah, it'll be interesting to see how it plays out. We're gonna find out on Saturday night.
Saturday night, we're gonna find
We're
out,
going to find
brother.
it Saturday.
Yeah, I mean, like we said, Holloway was the baddest man in the sauna his last fight, and McGregor being the bigger guy at welterweight, like we were talking about this earlier, like the Max Holloway, like quote unquote pillow hands argument, but going up basically like 2 weight divisions from his prime, which is at featherweight, to welterweight, where McGregor has that power and he could probably take like the thud from Holloway. I think that's really gonna change the game here, man.
What, do we think that there's a potential for some wrestling exchanges? Because I feel like it's not too far fetched to think that McGregor has some extra tricks up his sleeve. You know, McGregor's took him down in their first fight.
Yeah,
Could it happen again?
he had like 4 takedowns, and look at
I
what
think that
Chucky just
we
did
could see it.
to Holloway, man. Baddest man in the sauna.
I think this is what's going to happen. I'm going to call it. McGregor's going to destroy Max Holloway, then instantly get the title shot against Islam Makhachev. Chin Makhachev become the first 3-weight champion in the UFC and sail off into the sunset as the GOAT.
That's not ridiculous to say that, but I think if we're talking 3 division champions in the UFC, I think Amin Zahabi's on a real run right now, man.
Yeah, well, he's gone 0 for 1.
Sean O'Malley was juicing, bro. He put rocks in his gloves.
Dude, that's true. That's true. He called in a drone strike to take out Amin Zahabi on the walkout. It was kind of messed up. I mean, he was really dominating that fight with those leg kicks, those running leg kicks.
The low kicks plus Philly shell is really the craftiest base for MMA.
He was taking it. That was totally an early stoppage. I mean, we all know that Zahabi was coming back from that. He was just taking a knee for the first responders. Similar to Colby Covington in his fight against Jorge Masvidal.
He was blocking with his head, bro.
It's just another. I mean, it's really sad to see how much the reffing has fallen off in the UFC and how a barn burner fight was taken away from us. Was just ripped out of our hands. Another Amin Zahabi split decision kind of robbery win was stolen from us.
Yeah, honestly,
ironically though, if Zahabi had better head movement, like all he needs to do is get better head movement, and then he's terrible.
Oh my god!
No, Zhao's actually got a really good point. Like if his head movement improved, if his boxing, his kicking, his durability, his wrestling, his grappling, if that all improved, like he would be a better fighter.
Yeah,
bro. I heard word on the street is Amin Zahabi taught Floyd Mayweather the Philly shell.
That makes sense. I mean, considering how young of a prospect he is, he was definitely around when Floyd was coming up, So
how old is Amin Zahabi? That's actually a good question.
I heard Zahabi was Floyd Mayweather's financial accountant.
I think he's 38.
Is he really that old? He is 38. Wow.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, 38. Yeah.
No wonder he was getting dropped by Chito Vera, dude. Honestly,
he'll be 39 in November.
Looking
I don't
back
think
at this, bro, like if you get dropped by Aldo dropped him bad, but getting dropped by Aldo, that's not like the worst thing ever. Aldo's really good. But then, getting dropped by Chito Vera in that second round of their fight, how did we not predict sooner that Sean O'Malley was just going to spark him?
We did. Who is we? Who is we? Because I've been saying that since the beginning. Who is we?
I don't know, dude. I don't know.
That?
I was really feeling Amin Zahabi, decision by leg kick.
Yeah, 29-28 split decision.
You told us to trail your parlay, dude.
Dude, tell me you didn't see the vision. Tell me you did not.
Garbage ass. No, I saw the vision, but the garbage ass parlay died in fight number 1.
Every single fighter that I picked got TKO'd in the second round.
No, actually, my parlay got killed by Justin Gaethje, dude. I was on track for 3-leg to hit.
You didn't have a parlay. You didn't put nothing on it.
No, dude, I had I think it was Rufi Hokit Gaethje. Or Rufi Hokit Topuria, sorry, 3-leg, and Gaethje.
I'm down $5,000.
We were feeling really daring, weren't we? We picked up 3 -400 favorites on the card, huh?
Bro, do you really think Michael Chandler was going to win that fight?
Right.
Do you really think Michael Chandler was going to win against Rufi, dude?
It's America, dude. You never know.
Come on, man.
Guess what? My pick was the only one that came true.
Almost came true. You almost walked.
Came true.
Almost walked home with fat pockets. You would have been like Arman Sarukian, bro.
Yep.
Would you guys take the truck from Arman?
Yes. Are you dumb? Are you stupid? What type of question is that?
Nina Drama daughter or Amin Zahabi's son?
Amin Zahabi's son all day.
I'm gonna go with Amin Zahabi's son. By split decision, he wins.
Nina Drama's richer and she doesn't have to get punched in the head.
True, but do you not want your son to have the craftiest Philly shell low kick game in the UFC?
Nope.
Married low kicker, by the way.
I don't want my son to be fighting in the White House, getting paid 10 and 10 to get knocked out by Sean O'Malley.
All right, I think
I don't want my son to be Canadian.
Yeah.
Oh my! I mean, is Nina Drama any better where she's from? All right, the video's going downhill here. Do you guys care about Ankalaev versus Roundtree? Do you guys have any
No.
thoughts on that?
Not a single shit.
I'll be honest, I don't really care. I mean, I think we you know, I'm a big I like Ankalaev, but man, this
You
Khalil
like
Roundtree
Ankalaev?
infinite top 5, top 3 fights glitch needs to be patched.
Yeah, he just got
Yeah.
starched, and I think he used you know how like Gable Steveson has a loophole to get into high fights? I think Khalil Roundtree has like a Scientology method to get these, you know, #1 contender
There's
top
something,
fights.
dude. He's got to have some sort of dirt on the UFC. Like
No, to be honest, I know what it is.
he's 1 and 2 in his
It's
last 3 fights, and he's
I know what it is.
What is it?
perpetually in a #1 contenders fight.
What it is just the light heavyweight division is just that not deep. Like, think about the light heavyweight division. It's really like one of the least deep divisions, like other than heavyweight.
I don't know, man. Hold
Yeah.
on. Bogdan Guskov is here.
Oh, not Bogdan Guskov. Oh my god.
Hey, hold on,
Oh,
hold
no.
on, Pereira. We're good. Bogdan Guskov is here.
We
So
got
true.
Uros Medic. We got Uros Medic
Bro, he's not
fighting in the Azerbaijan card.
That's low-key a
We
good
got-
fight, especially against D-Rog.
That's a good card.
With D-Rog. Have you guys heard his
Uros
story,
Medic
man?
is low key one of the best light heavyweights of all time. I'm gonna already put that out there.
Light heavyweight? Are you retarded?
Yeah. What is he?
He's
Uros
talking about
Medic is a
Guskov.
welterweight, bro.
Oh yeah. Sorry. He's one of the best of all time though. You know.
I don't know if it were up to me. I think Paulo Costa is the best light heavyweight of all time.
Dude, he's number 4
Dude,
now.
he's gonna
with
be a
these new
champ. He's gonna be a
rankings.
champ. He's gonna be a
Honestly,
champ.
it's less far-fetched to say that Paulo Costa deserves a #1 contender fight more than Khalil Roundtree these days.
100%.
And,
1,000%.
Who in light heavyweight could like hit a spinning kick on Robert Whitaker's chin and wobble him like that? Nobody.
True. I mean, Robert Whitaker's at light heavyweight now, so look at that, man. All these unks are moving up. Does Hamzat move up to light heavyweight? Like, this division, low-key sucks.
Yes.
I think he
It
does. I would
sucks.
like to see him face Paulo Costa at 205. I think that'd be a sick. If Paulo Costa doesn't fight Yuri Prohaska, I would love to see him
Yeah.
fight Hamzat Chimaev at 205. I think that would be a badass fight.
Dude, speaking of
Yeah, that's one of the
205,
best fights.
isn't it not it's kind of disrespectful that Carlos Ulberg's not in the pound-for-pound top 15?
Carlos Goldberg, you said?
Yeah, Carlos Ulberg.
Is he not?
He's not? I thought he was.
Let's check.
That's
who's,
kind of crazy.
Yeah, in the pound-for-pound rankings, he's not in the top 15. Nowhere to be seen. Telling me
Wow.
Arman Sarukian is pound-for-pound higher than Carlos Ulberg right now.
Yes.
I would agree
Yes.
with that.
I'll say yes. Absolutely.
But like, dude, he knocked out Yuri, and I don't think he gets enough recognition for that. Just because, like, it's like Cyril Gane versus Pereira. So many people are Pereira fans. So many people are Yuri fans. They wanted to see him win. That it kind of almost dismisses the win.
Yeah, but I still.
Here's
I
the,
still
here's the
think
question
Arman's
though:
above.
is who in the top 15 are you putting him over?
Carlos Ulberg?
Yeah, I mean, is he
Yeah.
going over Saryukian? Is he going over
Yeah.
Oliveira, Pantoja?
I think over Sarukian, below Oliveira.
Interesting. So you put him 15th?
I'd put him 15th. Yeah.
That's fair.
And then, dude,
Put him in an Apex main event, top 20.
yeah, best we can do is the Apex in November, kid.
First title defense in the Apex.
First title defense against Paulo Costa in the Apex.
All right, now that I have both of you guys here, do you want to talk about this new rankings? Because we were kind of diving into this earlier today. It's low key weird because these new like meta rankings. I don't know if they're AI or not. Like what the hell? Is
They
it?
are, yeah.
Are they actually?
Yeah, they're meta AI
But
powered.
dude,
so
there's like no pound for pound top list, and then you have fighters who are above the people who beat them, like recently beat them.
I think, yeah, it's very weird. It's like we were talking about this before, and it's like you could go division by division and just find so many wrong takes that it's incredible.
Let's talk about some of these. First off, we were talking about this at welterweight earlier. Carlos Pratas is the #1 contender above Ian Gary right now, who just beat him like not even, well, it was like a little over a year ago.
I don't think that's the most egregious one. because that's like you could kind of
Is he number one?
kind
I'm looking at the website right now. It has Ian Gary at number 1, Broadus at number 2.
Switch to the meta
they might
rankings.
have they
I
yeah,
see. I see.
Carlos Prates is above Ian Gary.
Yeah.
Dang, yeah. I think that's wrong. I don't know because that fight was so recent too. Ian Gary really took
I
it
think
to
it's wrong
Carlos
too.
Prates.
I think it's wrong too, but it's not the most egregious one.
What's the most egregious one?
Pat Sabatini going from unranked to number 7 ranked in the featherweight division. Arnold Allen being above Gene Silva, even though Gene Silva literally his last fight was beating Arnold Allen. There's just so many. Like you can go division by division, and there's just like,
dude,
it's wrong.
Moicano is ranked above Killen Salkild, Patty Pimblett, and Mauricio Rufy right now, and Dan Hooker right now.
Like that's crazy. Yeah, that's insane.
Oh my gosh.
Like I really don't think I don't know. I just don't think it's right.
Dude, we were talking about this. Where is Jan? Because now we have Jan versus Merab and Jan versus O'Malley, like in talks. Fuck Umar. Umar can go to the back of the line. He already has a fight book, but like we have 2 championship fights for the champion.
I don't know.
Right,
I don't know what all this anger towards Umar is. I think he's like, I don't even think he was like that boring of a fighter.
You're switching up on Umar after seeing his Twitter post. Was it 271 or 6 million?
What?
Have you not seen Umar's Twitter?
Yeah, no, I do not
for those of you watching right now, definitely go check
agree with
Nurmagomedov's Twitter.
I do not condone or agree any comments
after you watch this video to completion. Look up Gable Stevenson College Loophole and Umar Nurmagomedov's Twitter, and you'll be filled in on context for this video.
I don't have a problem. I think if Merab beats Jan in the trilogy, then I think I would be looking to do Merab Umar too. But if Jan wins, then of course the O'Malley fight is right there. And honestly, if Merab keeps not being able to fight, if he keeps having to prolong this announcement with his broken nose and other injuries and whatnot, fuck it, just run Jan versus O'Malley at this point. I think it's a more exciting.
That's what I said earlier in the video.
I think more people would want to see the fight than the trilogy, even though the trilogy needs to happen. If we're just talking pure entertainment value, I think most people would agree that Jan O'Malley 2 is a much more fun fight, more stylistically friendly, more fan friendly, and just a badass fight.
I think for everybody included, it's not just the fighter's fault. I think the UFC has so many cards that are happening that it's kind of hard to like fit in like all the like it's hard to make these cards without it being like either too like heavy and using up all your champions or not using enough champions, and then you got to have the women's MMA in there, and it's
finally
they got to have like a balance,
dude.
Shout out to Mackenzie Dern for being the first woman to step up and defend her belt this year, man. Mad respect.
I mean, if you have to have one, that's the one to make.
No, she's a badass fighter for sure.
Yes. Yeah. Is that it?
Yeah, that's probably it for this video. So, yeah, shout out everyone who watched this far. Gable Stevenson Loophole. Bye.